Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the American Collegiate Esports scene. We've got a matchup of University of Delaware Fighting Blue Hens versus the Kutztown University Golden Bears. My name is Jacob Basket Knives, and joining me is Justin. Go ahead and introduce yourself there. So I'm interested to see what I've not seen University of Delaware play yet, but Kutztown, they did play last week, and I'm curious to see if they're going to go for that Zach pick again. It seemed to be pretty strong for them when they utilized that last week. But the first pick so far is Sona. Looks like, I'm guessing, support, unless they somehow have Person going in with a clutch mid lane pick there. Yep, and so far you do have the Zaya and Skarner picked on the side of Kutztown University. It looks like they're hovering the Rengar over there to counter that.
And my microphone was muted. Whoopsies.
Yes.
Okay, alright. I think we're 100% ready now. Skarner and Rengar, so junglers both snatched up by both teams. Herson hovering over the Zillion, another support / mid lane flex pick, if you're willing to consider Sona as one, that is. It saw Zillion kind of played, at least yesterday, by Biofrost, as a CLG fan, like some very heart-wrenching moments this weekend, and Zillion was definitely not a highlight. But we'll have to see if Night Stealth or Herson are able to make better use of him this time around.
Yeah, he played that as well on the side of CLG and did not find too much success on it. But now it looks like they're getting our last pick ready before we go into the second phase of the draft, hovering that Janna. And the Janna does go there, so they do have their bottom lane secured over there for KU. And let's see who the first ban of this second phase will be.
Oh, was it Huhi? Yeah, maybe I misspoke. I just know that they picked it and they bombed with it. Literally.
Biofrost, I believe, also played it as well this week.
Oh god, what are they doing? Okay. Tristana, take it away. Very strong late game AD carry pick. I don't think there's really much. I don't know that there's not too much to say about it. Zillion makes pretty much any protect the AD carry comp a possibility, and Tristana is not a bad choice in that regard. Rengar more of a serves as a distraction in a team comp like that rather than any sort of meaningful peel. But Sona, very oppressive lane phase. Actually, I'd be more inclined to say to see East Coast carry pick something with a little bit more lane pressure if he's going to go up with a Sona. Try to bully the Zaya out of lane and get through the Janna shields, because otherwise it's going to be quite the stalemate. Two ranged supports going up against each other.
Absolutely. It looks like KU is going to continue to try to likely pinch out that AD carry pool, and UD is going to continue to go after that top lane. But it looks like they're banning out the Darius as well, so maybe they know something more than we know about that top laner over in Takami 117, but we'll see what the final ban of this game will be.
Last one's Gangplank, probably. It's in my top 5 busted champions on this patch right now. He's just so incredibly strong. He picks up so much gold. In addition to already being just ahead by default with if he's able to use the parlay properly, the kleptomancy changes and just all the new rune changes and have set this champion up so well. He's got a fully formed nest egg by 20 minutes into every game that I've seen with him, and so I feel like a wise decision picked away. It also gives them the confidence to first pick to early pick their top laner, at least other than the other team. ACEL is going to grab up the Maokai for them, as Draven is the decision on the side of U Delaware. And
Very bold move with this bot lane so far. You got Draven Sona. They can carry really, really hard if they get ahead, but if they fall behind, it can be an absolute disaster. And the Maokai, a very safe top lane pick, not giving really too much away, saving that mid laner for that counter pick.
yeah, I like the Darius ban. Darius was buffed quite heavily in the last patch and probably has no issues chopping down any wayward tree standing in his way. Kled, on the other hand, haven't seen him in a long time. I'm actually not sure if he got buffed. It was a massive patch, and I didn't get a chance to look through the entirety of it. But the last pick here now, most likely going to be a counter to the mid lane. Yeah. If they
Yeah.
if that's what they decide that is going to be the pick, and it's going to be Corki, and Sona's in the mid lane right now. I'm still looking at it. Come on, you Delaware. Oh my god, I think they're actually going to do it. The Madmen.
They have a little bit of time left to decide. It would imply they are going with that Sona. A very bold move by Herson and the entire UD squad. But if that is the case, we'll know here in a little bit. We'll have that caster's delay, that spectate delay coming up here soon, where we'll go over the starting lineups and kind of go over and dissect some of these picks and some of these decisions that we'll have coming, and maybe even bust out a few predictions. If you guys have any thoughts or predictions, please let us know in those comments on our Twitch chat, and we will be sure to either respond to them in game or shoot you that message as well to get back to you on those.
Yeah, drop them in Twitch chat. I finally have it open this time, so I can see if you're unable to hear literally everybody and anybody, or see if the game's actually happening. So on the side of you Delaware, it is going to be Sona on Herson in the mid lane versus Corki. Pretty much the star of Kutztown last time around. Kind King carried his team pretty hard last time on the Gallia. We'll have to see if he's able to do that. They've got an uphill battle to climb. What about the rest of today's matchup?
All right, so going on in on the blue side, we've got Takumi in the top lane, Into the Dusk in the jungle, Herson in the mid lane, East Coast carry, and Night Stealth as AD carry and support respectively for the UD squad. And over on the red side, we do have Kutztown University, Axel Mist in the top lane, Demon Jester in the jungle, Kind King bringing his kingdom to the mid lane, ACEL in the AD carry role, and Tyker as his support. So going over a couple of these picks, the big thing also that stands out to me is still this Sona pick. I'm really intrigued to see the Sona versus Corki. You've got a lot of mobility and kind of high damage in the Corki, and I'm curious to see. I honestly have not seen Sona in a long time, so I'm curious to see what happens here.
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of itemization she's going to opt for. Frostfang is not a... funny thing, I saw Trick2G build Frostfang up in top lane Udyr last night, so maybe I'm a little biased with like recency bias or something like that, but he did have a full build at 25 minutes, so maybe that's something that's viable, and Sona definitely not going to complain about about having to buy a Frostfang as a champion. But yeah, I really just, everything's up in the air right now. I mean, I guess you can make the assumption that she's going to go some form of AP, but with the new items, it could really be anything.
Oh, absolutely. I'm curious to see what the build path is, what everything's going to be there. It's going to be a ton of fun. The Xayah Janna bot lane, I'm looking forward to seeing that versus the Draven Zilean. Both those lanes can be pretty explosive. Xayah is mainly going to be after the 6, but you will have that Zilean being able to get the double bombs off with the Draven, being able to really power through some early game pressure. So curious to see what happens. Skarner and Rengar in the jungle, a lot of power from both of them. I'm expecting some invades from Demon Jester because you can proc so many stuns, especially with that early leveling on E for Skarner in the jungle. Then as for top lane, I think it'll be fairly passive. Takumi might try to go in for early kills on that Maokai, but I think that Aximus will be able to play passive enough where he'll survive at least the beginning of the laning phase.
Yeah, with a few seconds left here, do you actually want to talk about the new AP item changes? I'm wondering if you probably know a little bit more about them than I do, and we've got two very major AP champions, both on the side of Delaware this time around. What do you think they'll be going for this time?
So I'm curious to see if Herson or Night Stealth will go with the new AP item. I have not had the chance to use it. It is the... Man, I am blanking on its name. Give me just a moment here to remember what the name of that mainly the main new item is. For me, the biggest change that I saw throughout the patch when it came to changed item was they did adjust the magic penetration on Leandri's Torment. They adjusted a few of the values on Morellonomicon, specifically in Lost Chapter. So I'm curious to see what they end up bringing in this game. We are getting into the matchup here, going into this game. University of Delaware Fighting Blue Hens versus the Kutztown University Golden Bears. Game 1, best of 3 in this series. Let us know who you think is going to win in that Twitch chat, in those comments, and we will make sure that we let you know. And that new item is that Spellbinder. So the Spellbinder, what is going to be given them is it does give you a maximum of, it gives you that essentially loading proc into a burst of movement speed that then decays. So I can feel like Sona might actually go for that. Herson might find that really, really useful. They also brought the Twin Shadows back that might be seen in the bot lane by the Zillion. I'm very curious to see what they bring for some of these, but we are getting ready to get into this match. Let's see what happens. Let's see what goes. University of Delaware versus the Kutztown University Fighting Golden Bears. Let's see what happens here. Jumping on into this game.
Yep, as soon as the game decides to drop the champions onto the rift, up in the red trunks, we have Kutztown University Golden Bears versus down on the blue side. It's the U Delaware fighting Blue Hens, rather. Still having to wait for that base gate to release them from their confines. And when I look at Spellbinder, you know what I see? I see a consolation prize for the AP champions that really like to go, not Phase Rush, Storm Raider Surge last season, because Phase Rush is really just a shadow of what it used to be.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see.
Oh my god.
Early invade coming in. Let's just see what happens. Flash already blown from the Demon Jester.
Yeah, wow. That is Demon Jester's flash blown at 33 seconds. They're going to take his Skarner control point. I don't even know what that thing is called. A shrine? They're going to take that immediately away from his chainsaw claws as he's forced back to base already. Doesn't want to start off that jungle at any sort of disadvantage, but, you know, getting rid of that flash, I guess his jungle clears is going to be that much slower for now. Looking to take the one over by Dragon. They're playing this Skarner pretty much by the book.
Looks like they're going to be rotating that top lane. Curious to see if Axelmus did go for the... He has not leveled an ability yet. Curious to see if he's going to level those saplings to help with the early clear, but we do have the invade coming in. A little bit of trade back and forth, and let's see what happens from here. And we're just going to go back to where they were going at.
Herson and Kind King trading pretty evenly. They're both going to start lane about 75 HP down. Probably not too big of a deal. Though Sona, once she gets her heal at level 2, it's probably going to be a little bit harder for Corki to pull that one out. I think how this is going to go is it's going to be up to Corki to be able to farm up enough to get a Hex Trigger or something similar before he can really start putting pressure on the Sona, because it takes him a little bit of time to ramp up before he can start one-shotting champions like the Mute Maiden.
The Sona does have a superior range when it comes to the abilities, and it is essentially just if you're in range, you do get hit by those abilities, so it'll be very interesting. We do have the early invade going in for that blue buff on the side of University of Delaware. Let's see if Into the Dusk will be able to make his way in and out. We have Demon Jester coming on in. Who's going to catch out who?
Demon Jester did actually smite away the blue buff, so he got a massive heal from Smite, but I don't know if he wants to 1v1 a Rengar. He can't leave the bush because he's just going to follow him right after that. It's First Blood picked up for the Murder Kitty already. Just 2 minutes into the game, and he's got all of the buffs, too.
Into the Dusk sent Demon Jester into the Dusk and back into the Fountain. We got a little bit of a brawl going on top lane, but such an early lead right away established. Essentially, he gets triple / almost quadra buffed at that point, thanks to Into the Dusk's early game pressure, utilizing that Electrocute and the Rengar passive of being able to jump out of that bush.
Yeah, that's going to be... actually, I guess you really can't call it a 4-buff start since he wasn't able to secure the blue, but he's going to get his own blue up, no problem here. Skarner's going to have to make do with the chickens for now. Walking around buffless at 3 minutes is not a good place for a jungler, and I think that's going to put so much pressure on the lanes for Kutztown as well.
Now, that won't necessarily hurt Demon Jester too much in the laning phase, just because, or in the jungle phase.
That's a minion wave! Oh no! Solo kill decided to twist advance into a 2 or 3 strong minion wave right there, and by 2 wave strong, Herson could be a little bit of trouble right now. She's put herself in the middle between a Scorpion and a rocket ship. Has to flash over the wall, so a pretty successful gank by Demon Jester in the mid lane for Kind King. Demon Jester. He finds himself at the end of Into the Dust Claws once more. Another one picked up for him. His double buffs are still ticking away. And Kanking could be a little bit of a trouble right here.
Trying to make up for the early misplay, and it just continues to punish him even more. Trying to they got the flash out, and so he tries to go back for that repeat kick, but not knowing that Into the Dusk is going to make his way towards mid lane, knowing that his mid laner is flashless. Another big misplay by the Demon Jester, setting KU even further behind right now in this early game. But the one saving grace is that he is Skarner, so being able to utilize his Crystal Spires, he is able to get a lot of mana regen, attack speed, and movement speed inside any spot that he has those shards built up, so it will not affect as much of his jungle clear as it would pretty much any other jungle in the game if you lost primarily your blue buff.
Yeah, but unfortunately for him, just 30 seconds ago, oh my god, East Coast Carry has deleted ACEL Action. And that's just your Draven snowball and begins in the bot lane, already 16 CS up. But just real quick, like 30 seconds before you mentioned those Spires, they were actually, all 6 of them were controlled by Rengar. So not having such a fun time. And I really think it just begins with Kutztown being pushed or forced away from their jungle way early in the game when Skarner was forced to flash away and they weren't able to re-establish vision control or get any sort of idea on where Rengar was actually going to be. And unfortunately, ruining their game for them now, 4-0 down already at 5 minutes.
Yep, almost coming up on a kill a minute. The way it looks like in this bot lane, they are really putting the pressure on. They'll probably end up going for first turret here down the bottom lane. I would suspect that Into the Dust, as soon as he hits level 6 here, which will be in just a minute or two, he's probably going to come right down to that bot lane to try to level this lane and really secure the snowball for Dr. Draven.
Yeah, Kanking still having issues trying to win these trades. They both have gone back. You can see he elected to go for the Corrupting Potion. I haven't seen that on a mid lane Corki in a while. But just to give himself a little bit of sustain to match what Sona naturally has in those voluptuous spells of hers. Maximus goes in once more onto Takami, wins the initial trade, doesn't have the minion wave ramming away on his backside this time, so is able to do a little bit better. But he's now down to the level 6, still level 5. Doesn't have the Grasping Vines just yet, or whatever that ultimate's called. Person up against Kanking. You can see like that, just effortlessly juking out the Phosphorus Bomb, and then Sona not having to worry about skill shots. So easy for her to win those trades.
Yeah, but he does not have the Nature's Grasp yet, and honestly, even if he did, all it will do will knock Kled off his mount, and he'll be able to get away from that crowd control as well. So far, it's been already about a 3k gold lead for University of Delaware, so KU has a lot of ground to try to make up either in these farm lanes, but they've been falling behind all those in the jungle, or just trying to get some objectives.
Thought he was going to charge in for a second there, just to let they clear out a ward, it looks like. Maybe that was a wayward chicken. Speaking of getting cleared out, Hiker's gone into the dust, doesn't even get an assist for showing up. Just pops by to say hi and saunters back into the enemy jungle this time. He's looking to go for the blue buff, spawning pretty much instantly as he makes his way in. There's the charge, the instant stun from Herson. Charge from the backside. Kanking was not expecting that one. The violent tendencies smacks his ship into the ground, and that's 6 kills already for you, Delaware.
No Valkyrie to get him out of there. Has to try to burn the flash. Still holds onto the heal, but just getting pinched in between that ultimate, that crescendo, and the charge from Kled. We've got another fight going on bot lane here.
Yeah, I think ACEL Action is not long for this world. East Coast Carry didn't even need Into the Dust, popping in for a little bit of a battle roar assist, and an assist on the tower as well. It's going to be first turret. And a 23 farm lead for Draven. He's already up. He's got the Adoration. He's cashed in Adoration stacks 3 times already. And a BF sword finish for that. That means it was no problem for him to pick that one up at all.
Yep, the snowball is getting itself out of control. A 6.1k gold lead at 8 minutes into the game is absolutely insane. And it looks like they're just going to continue to ride this rush for gold lead and just go straight for the early Mountain Drake here at 8 minutes into the game.
Yeah, he's going to solo this one out. He tells himself, well, my laners don't want my help, then I don't want theirs. He's going to pick up the Mountain Drake for his team, all by his lonesome. Takami still doing wonders in the top lane. He is up 2 kills. Did get the original solo kill and then a nice roam on the mid lane. But even despite that roaming potential, has accrued himself a massive CS lead, 22 up. He's giving Draven down there a run for his money, actually beating him out quite handily.
Yep, and they do secure that Mountain Drake. That'll help them pound down even more of these turrets. You see that East Coast carry has made his way to the top lane. They're just looking to ride this Draven train, continue to smack things down. He's going for likely the early Bloodthirster here with the Vamp Scepter and BF Sword, and that is going to be a very, very scary Draven. The fight's broken out, flash is blown by Demon Jester.
Did it the flashback into the loving arms of Tyker. Was able to get the shield to survive that onslaught, but it's not able to protect his turret this time. There's the slow from the is it rupture? Fracture? Haven't seen a Skarner in so long. It's these old Season 2 ability names are just escaping me right now. East Coast carry. Chunking Iciolas down, but 25% every time one of those spinning axes hits her in the back.
If they are sending 4 top lane, however, KU did manage to send ACEL to the bottom lane, so he is being able to get some of this farm back and maybe being able to get that tower as retribution.
Ooh, this is a 2v3 right now, but Iciolas is running scared. Night Stealth flashing in, doesn't hit the double bomb, gets the root on Takami instead. There's the 2 bomb detonations, desynchronized, no stun. Tyker gets the heal from his AD carry and a great suppression. The resurrection as well, just barely popped off by Night Stealth before Rengar went down, and Rengar is still fighting for his life. Whoa, a package to clean up that kill. Iciolas picks up one, Corki the other on a Takami who hung around too long, and a very good retribution effort from the side of Kutztown, putting themselves on the board and preventing any idea of a perfect game, at least for now.
A little bit of the greed there, sitting between those 2 towers and just thinking that, hey, we've got whatever it takes to be able to get through there. Hits the level 6 just in time to be able to utilize that Skarner ultimate to drag Rengar in. Does get the ultimate from Night Stealth, but it's just not enough right now with it being a non-full AP Zillion and it just not being late enough in the game. So
yeah.
ACEL does get the blue buff and now is going to be sitting up here trying to farm up and catch up to the 3-0 Draven.
That was, I want to say, uncharacteristically non-committal from the side of U Delaware, seeing as I've only been watching them play for about 10 minutes here, but they were definitely not following up on each other. At least not willing to dive in 2 towers deep this early into the game.
Yeah, definitely a really big risk. They are playing with house money, though, because they do have now a 5k gold lead, a dragon, and 5 extra kills, and a tower up on KU, so they have a little bit of room to kind of mess around. But if they make more plays like that, KU might find themselves clawing them back into this game.
Playing with house money, I like that. I like that a lot. Kind King starting to win these trades a little bit. He's not electing to go for any sort of early match resist, just opting for the early Trinity Force as soon as possible. I don't know. I don't exactly disagree with that decision. You know, Sona, maybe she hurts one at a time. There's Takami going for the tower dive. This looks like a repeat of his earlier attempt, but this time Demon Jester is here for backup. Chunks Takami down almost entirely. Skarl's health is almost entirely gone. TQ Alchemist splitting bottom, trying to come up to join his team, is going to find the Murder Kitty instead, but Herson gets dragged underneath the tower. That last tower shot's going to kill him. TQ Kind King has slain him, but on the other side the tree gets chopped down. Kled just elected to go for that kill instead, trying to stay away from the tower. This time though, into the dusk with the Battle Roar, picks up another one. Double kill for him underneath the turret, and the massive heal this time keeps him alive. No repeat tower dive fails this time for the side of U Delaware.
No, but they did try to utilize that same dive they had used earlier to get that first kill on Kind King. But unfortunately, it was not to that success just because of the way that the Kled ult is set up. Running into the Skarner first does essentially block that, so not going to knock him into the Sona for the crescendo. They do manage to get the 1 kill on Person, but it's just not enough in terms of them getting both the Maokai and that Corki in that mid lane.
Yeah, they just have to stay alive right now. Anything that they can pick up in return is somewhat stemming the bleeding. That Featherstorm earlier is not going to be enough to keep this alive. East Coast Carry is going to pick up that turret. There's Into the Dusk once more. Leaps onto a minion instead of aiming for the juicier target. Double bomb to zone them away from the minion wave as Draven continues to farm up. There's a 4-man strong presence up in the top lane for Delaware again. Is this going to be round 2 for real?
Only this time they're not sitting between 2 towers, so they might have a better chance. And yes, Draven is absolutely hungry right now. He is hungry to get that BF sword. He probably has enough, sitting on enough gold right now, but he wants to get even more, maybe even go for a couple extra kills for that second tower. Courage is about to come back up, so Kled is about to be remounted here, and it looks like they might go for that dive Into the Dusk's ult is about to come back online, so they might look for that dive here.
Both AD carries are sitting on about 2,400 gold right now, and obviously one of them wants to go back a hell of a lot more than the other. East Coast carry might be the one to drop that one. Actually, a pause coming through. This wasn't on the docket. Demon Jester has paused the game. Maybe he was having some issues earlier. Could explain his, I don't want to say mistakes, just being taken advantage of very, very heavily by Into the Dusk on the Rengar. Okay, it was a slight mic issue, it looks like the chat has revealed to me. We also know now that East Coast Carry's real name is Mike, so maybe he's the problem. His problem is that he's killing all of them mercilessly.
Yeah, and he is playing the Draven skin that he is a radio host, so
yeah,
he's throwing
literally throwing
forth.
microphones at them. Yeah. Turns out throwing microphones not very good for keeping them operational.
No, but he managed to always just catch him again. So let's take stock here for just a moment. So what it looks like is about to be set up here. Takami's ult is about to come back online. He's about to be remounted. Into the Dusk's ult is about to come back online, and he's sitting there just ready behind. You have the Whirling Death from Draven ready to go, and you have the revive from Zillion, that chrono shift. So if they do go for this dive, it's going to be a 4v3 sitting under tower. Janna does have her ult up. She does have that Monsoon up, but there is no ult from Zion, no Featherstorm available, but they do have the Impale from Demon Jester, who's making his way over there. So I'm curious to see what happens here. We can get a really explosive fight sitting around here, but we're just going to have to wait until this pause ends up going back. And apparently someone's grandma just fell out the window.
The dog has got out the window, the cat is caught in fire, and grandma got run over by a reindeer. See how much time they have to fix these problems. Yeah, I don't think there's any way that a dive doesn't happen. Delaware is going to try to pressure this one. I don't know if they know that Maokai's teleport is down, but it's got a solid minute left on it, it looks like. If that was a 5-minute timer that I'm looking at right now. He's caught up in farm, he's been doing his job, split pushing. He's been caught out, at least I think just once, really, trying to group up with his teams and not doing too badly, especially minding that early deficit that he racked up against Takami. Takami electing to go much more for team-oriented plays once the charge was ready and available. You can see him kind of hovering around the top side near the back behind Draven, just off the side of the screen right there. And I think Sona, Corki, they're going to continue doing their thing. Corki, actually, he's got 2 kills under his belt. This could be the saving grace that Kutztown really needs going into the late game. I guess it just depends on how fast he can not get blown up by Into the Dusk, who's now rampaging 4-1-1. I don't even think we're going to see the fullest extent of what this Rengar has to offer, as he's sitting on 2,000 gold coming into this potential tower dive. Looking at the other side, it's really only Xayah has a intense urging to go back.
Yeah, and they are still sitting at that 6,000 gold lead, so it will be very interesting to see just kind of what happens here. However, if KU is able to hold off this dive and able to delay it or even deter it, then they will probably be able to get that tower at least a significant amount of damage and farm catch up on ACEL down in the bottom lane as that Maokai. Maybe even delay long enough for his ultimate to come back up, get a lot of damage. They do have one ward sitting in that little bush to the bottom left of where Draven and Zillion are sitting at, so there's that potential TP play to come in as well. Still waiting to see what's going on here. Trying to figure out what this pause is, but we'll just see what happens here.
I don't have shadows turned on. I will do that real quick.
And it looks like there's an issue with utilizing either their stream or utilizing their Discord for their chat. So we'll kind of go in there and they're going to try to fix that up. They do have a little bit of time left to utilize their pause time, but hopefully we'll get back here soon, because I do not want to wait around to see what happens with this explosive fight that's probably going to come on up.
Does anybody remember how to turn off the FPS counter in League of Legends? Uh-oh. Let's see.
Guessing it's under a display setting.
It's like a keyboard shortcut, right? We've got it's like Control Shift C or like Alt C? Weird. Anyway. Yeah, slight concern here. We're past the point where the pauses lasted longer than the spectator delay, so were a wayward member of either team to log into the stream, to tune into the stream right now, there could be some potential integrity issues. Speaking of integrity issues, Discord really letting down Kutztown tonight. Can't even open Discord.
Feels bad. Feels so bad right now.
Okay, go to video settings in the bottom. That's not it.
No, so video settings, all that's going to do is that's going to allow you to change out how much frame rate you're using. I don't think that's going to do anything for that.
Pause! It's the pause to end all pauses!
Oh, I think we're fine. We are 6 minutes into this pause, though, guys, so we're just going to try to keep talking about whatever we can. So far, it looks like there's certainly a large advantage from UD. It looks like they've either done their homework on how to play against Kutztown University, or they're just coordinating a lot better. If you look even just from the level 1, they just moved completely as a unit. They caught them very well off guard, always seeming to be catching KU on the back foot of these plays, making KU play very reactively instead of proactively. So just taking stock of that, if you're ever playing with a duo partner as a team, utilizing vision and just being the first to the play gives you such a large advantage with what you're going to end up doing here.
I am a genius. You can turn off the minimap and the spectator and prevent rogue teams from gaining any meaningful intelligence.
But honestly, if anyone is watching this and spectate and you're playing or you're representing that team and you're feeding information, well then...
Yeah, don't do that.
Dude,
Bad.
come on. That's unethical, that's immoral, and probably somewhere in the ACEL handbook that's probably illegal and can get your team into some trouble. So don't do that, Watch this game for fun and enjoy it. Don't try to cheat the system by finding the stream and watching what's going on here.
Dude, Rainbow Six Siege. The players are thinking about getting a little pickup game going while they figure out their mic issues. I would be down to cast some Rainbow Six Siege. That would be pretty interesting.
Yep, so everyone grab your snacks, check your Snapchats, update that Instagram photo. And we'll be back very soon with everything that's going on. I mean, we're still here. We're still talking. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you're curious about something, or if you'd like us to change something or improve something, please let us know in those comments. The wonderful people that are watching us, thank you again. If there's an issue with any of our voices or our mics or our volumes, also let us know that as well. And we'll be happy to help you guys out with anything. Or if you just want to chat and have some conversation, we'll respond to you guys.
Have you tried turning it on and off again? Let's go for that. Can't open Discord. Yeah.
Yes.
I've had Discord kind of fall asleep on me back in the background. If they want to try, I mean, they're not going to hear this. There's no way for me to communicate with them. I guess. If anybody wants to throw them the suggestion to open up Task Manager and kill the process behind Discord, that might help them out.
Yeah, it looks like this Discord issue might be hamstringing them for a while. They might have to go back to some old school like TeamSpeak or Twitch voice or Skype or even just the old-fashioned phone call. I don't even know.
the conference call.
With the conference call.
Bring out the Polycom, boys. Oh god. Yeah, is there any sort of
all right, we're back. We are back, so let's see what happens here. This fight is probably getting pretty saturated up there. The tension is building. Draven is taunting them with the back, and we have a DC.
Oh god, I didn't even unpause. I just have ACEL disconnecting and reconnecting all over the place. I didn't even see anything. Got a 10-minute pause already.
All right, so looks like the Maokai has left the building. He has left the rift. Hopefully the tree will find his way back into the forest, because otherwise, well, without the trees, we don't know what we do.
Are
Yeah, we
you
definitely.
are you still paused right now by any chance, or?
Yeah, I'm still paused right now. It's
Okay.
sitting at 1954 right now.
Yeah, that's weird. Game 2 on PBE. Is in-game voice chat on PBE? Oh my god. They finally did it.
If they actually pull that off in the in-game voice chat, that'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how it'll work interface-wise. It might actually cause some issues with maybe frame rate stuff. At the same time, I'll be honest, I like being able to use stuff like Discord for when I'm just duoing, because then I can just talk with my duo partner, and I don't have to talk to anyone else, so therefore we can just trash talk the rest of our team when they're doing bad and we're carrying.
Fortunately for you, when I playtested this over the summer, in-game voice chat was slated only for premates, which I don't know if I 100% agree with that. Looking at this, I don't see anything. We got 223 PBE update. Might have just gotten duped. PB update. Oh, Resistance Alawi's got chromas finally up. I suppose that's the Battlecast skin?
Yeah, that's what it's essentially originally supposed to be called Battlecast Live. They've changed it to Resistance Alawi. It's going to be kind of essentially kind of like the Matrix kind of thing.
Yeah, she's got the Zion look going on. I mean, I like it. It's just after all of that hype, man, I expected more. I was really looking forward to Space Infected Alawi or whatever it was going to be originally called. And I thought that was leading for the longest time. Yeah.
Okay, so just so that way everyone knows, with the pause that had happened, the reason that it unpaused and then has now repaused is that we did have, since it was a player DC, the pause can only last for 10 minutes before it has to unpause and then repause. So every pause can only last that long. Otherwise, it'll just unpause itself. So Axel Mist is trying to relog and get himself back on his computer. So we'll see what happens with this client here. In another 7 minutes, we'll know if he is back or not, or if we'll do another unpause, repause, and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I just found the dev blog post back in December stating that they were going to be bringing in party voice chat. Kind King, though, needs no voice chat to trade with Sona. The double bomb successfully lands for Nightstealth this time. No mercy for the team currently playing 4v5. I have to turn the mini back on, otherwise I can't see actually if Maokai has come back. Tiger barely lifting away from the turret. They're going to finally give that one up. There was that dive that we were talking about.
Oh man, taken down right away. They've already standing on one leg. They've got a peg leg. They're a pirate, and they just knocked that other leg down.
Teammate just here. I don't think he's going to be able to pull off this 1v3 miraculous tower defense. Takami is wailing away on it, completely unopposed. East Coast carry actually the one going for harass. Takes the tower shot, but there's the pull onto the and suppression on a Nightstealth. He was too low and didn't have the opportunity to pull the ultimate. That means this is a good fight. Kind King is coming once more with the package. Two great uses of the package for him so far this game. A shutdown for Zaya. She's gonna like that one and take it all the way to the bank.
Definitely making that good rebound play again. Again, University of Delaware is definitely playing really, really greedy right now. They are playing with a ton of house money, but that does cost them a lot being able to go back there. Draven does have the completed Bloodthirster along with an extra BF sword. And just so everyone knows, clarification-wise, you are only allowed to pause in the ACL for at most 10 minutes in a game, and then it will automatically unpause. So even though Axelmist is not back, he is still currently AFK. He's only allowed 10 minutes worth of a pause per game, just so y'all know. The more you learn, I've just learned that as well. So we're going to keep going here in this 4v5, and we're going to see what they can happen. The Infernal Dragon is now live, and there's a lot of vision in that bottom half of the red side jungle, thanks to University of Delaware.
Just a quick shout out to Dark Snow Fox in the chat for pointing out it's Control F to disable the FPS counter. Thank you very much. And yeah, that was a decent defense for the side of Kutztown. I think they had a man advantage, they had the package advantage, and perhaps Delaware playing a little fast and loose, knowing that they were up a man the entire time. But they're not going to take mercy on this tower either. That's 4-0 so far. NightStel's gonna 1v1 the enemy jungler with the double bomb to start things off as the rest of his team catches up. He's already down to Hal. Undula Dust is probably going to pick that one. The Janna shield at the last minute. Oh, he pops the stopwatch, but has killed himself as he's sitting right on top of a double bomb. NightStel picks up the kill. Going over the support, not too bad. Maybe not as bad as going over into the Dusk, but I think that was unavoidable either way.
Yeah, definitely a tough situation to be in. That Zillion Bomb, when it does land, it does immediately do some damage right away, so you do have that to worry about. So that right there just does get the kill. He probably actually might have been able to survive that, though, if he took the Zillion Bomb, walked into base, and then utilized his stopwatch. But we will unfortunately never know.
That is correct. You needed to bring that into the base and out of range of the enemy team. Trying to stay out of range as well as Tyker. He's not able to get anywhere near that inner turret to put a shield on top of it. Went for a little Zephyr poke onto the enemy mid laner, but wasn't really able to get much.
Yep, and we do have just... Alright, it looks like ACEL has said he is reconnected, so we'll see if the tree does make its way back in.
Yeah, ACEL is back in the house, but so is the Crescendo. Tyker is gone. One out for another. Takami is just very low, but his courage bar is almost full. It means he's going to gain back a lot of health real soon, unless he just dies. ACEL on a killing spree. 3 in a row for him. The spinning blades are just barely going to miss as Hurston flashes away after getting the Chrono Shift. Perhaps a little bit of a waste there.
And I'm surprised that Demon Jester didn't take his opportunity to impale Draven and bring him right back through that base gate. I think they could have maybe gotten something off that, but not willing to risk that there. But overall, not bad. They end up getting that kill on Takami, and it looks like they are 5 men strong again. They do successfully hold out the 4v5, ladies and gentlemen. We are back into a full 5-on-5, a very classic game of League of Legends. Coming up here on the 18.5-minute mark. 10,000 gold lead, 2 dragons, and 6 towers are the lead that UD has.
Yeah, but Kutztown definitely not going down without a fight. They put up a valiant base defense over the last couple minutes. Wasn't able to quite save their red buff that time around, but got the flash from Into the Dusk. I think ACEL has got to be feeling just a little bit safer against the Flash's Rengar.
A little bit safer indeed, but he is got 4 kills and 2 assists to his name, as well as 145 farm. The farm leads on all sides are fairly significant, the only lead being not so insurmountable being in that top lane, which is surprising, and in the mid lane, which is kind of expected. Corki does have a pretty good amount of farm to be able to put to his name, but the whole time that he's been gone, he's down 20 farm. ACEL is on the top lane, but it looks like they're going for that Rift Herald, looking to use to crack open, hopefully an inhibitor tower coming up here soon.
Oh my god, I just did a double take. I thought that was going to be Baron taking down, but it's only 19.5 minutes into this game. Looking at Delaware's team comp and the fact that they've already taken down all of the outer turrets from the enemy team, what do you think their game plan is to finish this game out as soon as possible? Or maybe they don't want to finish it out as soon as possible. What do you think? Well, this could be a good answer for that. Yeah, Tyker's already really low. Hurston almost one-shot him completely, but Kind King's there for backup. Hurston's going to be the next to go down. Draven's ultimate just barely misses the kill on Demon Jester, gets the shield to keep himself alive, but he doesn't want to run back into that Draven. Has picked up the kill. Actually, that was Kled on that one, and ACEL, a very squishy tank this time. ACEL is going to finally get shut down by the enemy team, and now 1 versus 3. I think they're just going to teamfight their way to victory instead. No need to go for any sort of fancy sieging or macro plays.
Yeah, if I had to guess, they're probably going to pop this Rift Herald here in just a second and utilize it to break down that siege, but nope, they are not. But back to that question that you posed to me right before that slaughter in the jungle. They do have the Rift Herald, so they can utilize that in any of those lanes to provide pressure. And now that Baron is live, they have a 2-item Draven and a very fed team in general. They can easily just pop that Rift Herald in any of the lanes, go straight to Baron, burn down Baron, and then, depending on if that next dragon is up, go with the dragon. So I think it's just, right now, it's just an ABC play for them, just as fundamental as it gets. Don't mess up, drop the rift, get objectives, GG. But we'll see what KU does as the response to say we're not going down, we're not going to die. Flashes are blown. They are afraid of the East Coast carry. He is indeed carrying them right now.
Yeah, I thought Hurston was going to go for the crescendo earlier too. Instead, he pops it, and Iciolas was already safely underneath his tower into the dusk. Found ACEL miss, twigs him down to half up in the north side of that fight. And I do want to commend, at least earlier, even though that was a massacre, I think that was more led up to the gold lead than anything, because that was the one section of the jungle that Kutztown has vision control over. So I believe that was where they thought they could make a stand. They thought they had the jump on the members of the enemy team that they caught out, but the other members unfortunately just caught up way too fast with them. Speaking of way too fast, into the dusk. Gets sped up towards Axelmis, who's underneath his turret but doesn't have the MR to survive. The support's double bombs. Takami got dragged underneath the turret. There goes Scaro running away once more like the coward he is. But the inhibitor is going to be the next thing to go down as Demon Jester decides he doesn't want any of that after taking a power cord to the face.
Yep, and they're getting all the way up to the Nexus Tower. He's going to take some damage there. Looks like the next prize for them will be that Infernal Drake. Dropping that teleport to stop the minion from dying to continue to get that damage on the tower. Double Bomb does hit on Iciolas.
Demon Jester doesn't have the Impale up just yet. Looked like he was going for a little bit of a cheeky play right there. You can see Delaware backing up just the slightest bit. The Kind King forces Takami to joust away as there goes the advancing vine, or the advancing roots. But instead, they get hit up with a crescendo on the opposite side. Demon Jester's backing out already into the safety of the Janna ultimate, but Takama has found out Tiger instead as he put himself in the front line. Axel missed. Not quite the front line that they need right now, has to back off. Back underneath his turret, but Tiger goes down once again.
They're just trying to make a play at this point. They're just trying to find some sort of way to get themselves back in this game, and unfortunately, it's just you're sitting at a 15,000 gold lead right now at 23 minutes in the game and up 3 dragons. It is almost an insurmountable gold lead at this point, if not insurmountable, but at least KU is giving it their best effort right now. They are doing their damnedest to try to survive and try to make it. The carries are getting the kills. And it's just they've got to maybe try to get tanky enough to last and let the Zaya and Corki get some free damage off.
Yeah, I was going to say that perhaps this is a very physical damage heavy team on the side of Delaware, but that's not true at all. You see the Zillion bombs are doing quite a number on the members of the enemy team because he's just so far ahead. Has a completed Ardent Sensor, so that's quite a bit of AP, and then he's going for I guess he's going for a full-on AP item next. Probably finishing off that Archangel Staff or something similar. Tiger,
yeah. You do have the Lich Bane from the Sona as well.
Oh, Tiger! Oh my god! We go take a shower after that one. 700 damage off the tip of that axe.
Yeah, that is a fed Draven, kids. So note to yourself: do not let Draven get fed. He will do damage to you. He will kill you.
Through the base gates once again. You know what? I was actually very surprised that Into the Dusk traveled so smoothly through that base gates. I was expecting all sorts of wonky stuff happening, as normally Into the Dusk cannot go through that collider, but they're taking this chance to take down the Baron instead. No jungler needed. Blue team secures the Baron after that pick by Kutztown University.
Yep, KU doing what they can. They're at least getting that one kill on the Rengar, but unfortunately has no vision and no support and no means to go and grab the Baron. Easily secured by University of Delaware. It looks like the Blue Fighting Hens are trying to take flight and trying to let themselves be known. Taking down buffs now, clearing out some jungle, dropping some vision, just really trying to get themselves into a better position here to win.
I still like how Kutztown is playing this defense game. They're not totally completely into their own shells, into their own base. They're trying to establish vision control over the top side of the jungle, and they've decided that that's where they want to mount their defense. I guess now it doesn't really matter as much since they had inhibitors down, but if you can prevent that side of the map from pushing in too far, then it can keep Delaware outside of the base long enough to not have to not be able to threaten on any of the Nexus turrets. But you know that means that they're not able to protect against the siege going on in bottom lane as they finally push down to the turret. The Baron buff is far and away from expiring yet.
Yep, that top inhibitor will be respawning soon, but will it be respawning soon enough to be able to get everything else done with everything else going on here? Curious to see what's going to happen here. They do take that bottom lane inhibitor. They're going in.
Yeah, Kutztown decided to back off to try to defend middle, but Takami didn't get quite the memo that Draven was going to retreat on this one, but there down goes the tree as ACEL tries to pick off the enemy support, but he has chrono shifted himself. That's double kill. Now picked up, takes down the other support rather. Janna is dead once again, and Night Stealth resurrecting himself is still back on the fight as Kind King packages right into the Dusk, who is stealth on the top side of the map. The exhaust isn't enough to keep him in range for the kill. But ACEL, wow, he's still fighting on the backside. I'm surprised he's not dead yet. Gets a good snare on ACEL's carry. This could be his death if Sona isn't able to play the song close enough for Draven to hear her. But meanwhile, nothing can be done to stop the Nexus from exploding from the side of Kutztown University. And that's the Brown Bears, unable to swipe the Blue Hens out of the sky in match 1.